This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. Guys, New York is opening in T-minus 2 minutes. We have to say though, what's going on? Bitcoin is continuing to kind of rush towards the upside in a difficult pattern. We're going to talk about this acceleration. Want to shout out to the VIP. Anyone who happened to pick up yesterday on the trade, I'm just going to say I'm going to refer to it without mentioning the trade because I don't like to just hand out trades. You guys know that. Specifically, that's for the guys in the back, small crew, the right crew. That's the only way I want it. In terms of Bitcoin, looking at an acceleration, call this a scallop, call this, guys, a bit of a hyperbolic move. What's going to be the case here? We have one of two options. Typically, when we see this on Bitcoin, pushing up and past the 38,000 mark to about that 38.8. And we're about T-minus 1 in terms of the New York Open. We'll get there, guys. We'll look at some value opportunities. Potentially, there's some issues with Tesla. We're excited about those moves to the downside, always. Now, pay attention. These have a tendency to do one of two things. To, bam, accelerate and explode to the upside, or what? To collapse. Okay, I'm going to reinforce one specific parameter that we've been discussing the whole entirety of this section, marked off as the following. We are bullish over 37,500. True indeed. We're bullish over 37,500 to the extent that you were bullish yesterday. You got a perfect rehit at 37,500, carried you up what, guys? Almost 4%, about 3.5 to 4%. This is the line in the sand. It's going to continue to be that dividing line for us. Bullish over, bearish under. You can see the levels of volatility. It, guys, has been just swing trade heaven. So pay attention to this hyperbolic move. Again, potential reinforcement of this hyperbolic move to the upside, bam, and collapse is also possible. You have to be able to trade one of two scenarios or both scenarios. Ideally, if you plan to do really well in the market, right? You say, well, I'm a breakout trader. I like to break out to the upside. Great, that's one of two scenarios. You might make half the amount of money if you're prepared to trade in both directions. So we would encourage you to work on your execution without a doubt. Some additional, guys, let's say just say in terms of, I'm trying to adequately put this in terms of some of the features that you're seeing on the charts right now. Will be some features that we are bringing to our exclusive group, and that's it, guys. Small group, it's the way it's got to be. Too much riffraff out there. Let's just reframe into real quickly on Bitcoin level of resistance, level of support. This channel framework, we're just gliding up and along. You guys know it's not easy looking at Bitcoin, and we'll talk about some Action Jackson on, you got it right, on Tesla. Hey, in the dumps just a bit. We'll talk about that though. Let's talk about it before we just completely dismiss Tesla. Let's talk about it. Now, in terms of this hit to the upside on Bitcoin, what's the most important thing? You got it. Boom. Perfect hit, wasn't it? Look at this. Guys, look at this confirmation on the monthly. It's our strategy. It's New York Institute of Finance. But we agree with New York Institute of Finance, where Wall Street goes to school, up and over the 20 moving average. But boom. Perfect entry. Bam. Perfect hit to the top side band. If you're not familiar with Bollinger Band strategies, guys, that just means that you don't spend enough time around here. And that's fine. Go you therefore and do well, guys. Go do well in the markets. Let's look at Tesla, because it's been an interesting story to watch develop, irrespective of any specific opinions we may have on any specific matters. It's quite an interesting development, technically speaking, as we look at trying to challenge into a very typically favorable pattern, all right? And in terms of the cryptos that I brought to you guys yesterday, just watch those. I'd go back and watch those cryptos, okay? In terms of, let's say, the stream from yesterday, make sure you caught that move. If you did, congratulations. You are in the green yet again. Nicely done. When crypto shows up, she shows up. So nice to see that she can offer a place to trade. That's going to be the bottom line, that she can offer a place to trade. Now, we know the following. This is the macro. This is the weekly on Tesla. Is it a properly structured bull flag? Probably not. We're going to call this more of a wedge, okay? We'll call this more of a wedge just due to the constriction that's here. The more that we flatten this out, we could say we could have an incomplete bull flag. We like the first hit to be into the resistance for the bears, to hand back to the bulls, bam, to hand back to the bears, and then we'd like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This curl-in feature is not what we're typically looking for. Curl-in feature 2, guys, it's a short handoff. We like the bulls to express themselves all the way to the top. Bam, straight line function to be repeated on any specific bull flag. That's the bottom line. You guys know that. Now, Looking at the weekly, you can see, guys, we had this pickup in along that green byline. I think we can look back at that, but that is correct. Taking a look at where we're currently at, we're just using this specific capital control line. Very relevant, isn't it? Capital control line on the weekly is our resistance. It just is. Look at the line here. Big time deal. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Let's talk about the weekly and dial it down into the daily. A few more points that we could bring up. A few more points that we could bring up in terms of the specifics here on the weekly, but we'll get into the back, guys, and we'll get into some of that. But Tesla down 3%. What's the biggest issue here? Is we're looking at the macro, and I haven't been focused on the macro, but I love when the micro reinforces the macro. We talk about New York open because there's a lot of volatility just immediately out of the starting gate. You see like a 3% drop on Tesla. That's what we like to see, is that volatility, right? Now, looking at our green zone, we're going to dial this in from that macro, ultra macro. And guys, on the weekly, understand that ultra macro, what we were just looking in, let's dial that into a lower time frame. What can we learn about anything that we were to look at technically from this macro weekly? And let's dial that into our specific micro, let's say on the hourly or so, okay? Let's say that hourly, looking at that move to the upside, it's another bull flag, much better formation, a much better formation. Move to the upside, downward sloping channel. You saw that on the weekly, right? You saw on the weekly, it's just, guys, we don't have the real trajectory to the upside. Hit in, bears hand back off the bulls. We'd really like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up and out. We have like a curl in feature, early handoff from the bears to the bulls, right? Bulls pushing then back up, bears handing back down to another hit, just 2 hits along the bottom here. We'd like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll take a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up and out. So this arguably has a 1, 2, 3 and a 4 up and out. It's just not, it's not favored. So looking at, and that was the weekly, looking at the specifics here, and yes, we have this grind up and along, but we'll just call this a handoff, clean handoff from the bulls to the bears on the hourly. Back to the bulls, back to the bears on the hourly. Back to the bulls. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is up and out. You see the distinction there. You see that wave formation nicely, guys, nicely assembled. Now, we'll get into the technicals on crypto. We may start doing just some crypto streams just to kind of talk about the technicals in play. I just don't want to hand our trades out. I don't want to hand out all of our trades. It's not worth it to me, guys. It's not worth it to you either. It's just not. Guys, as we look at our trades, we do well. We work very hard to do well, technically. Guys, a lot of time is input into that in terms of our group, in terms of our performance. We really, guys, we just appreciate anyone and everyone who makes these trades possible. Is the bottom line. I'm talking to some high-level functions there, okay? Anyone who makes these trades possible, and particularly on crypto, guys, that's our focus. But looking at this, we will just say one thing for Tesla. We noted the fact a few days ago, and just let this sink in, right? Let this sink in. We didn't have a breakout. Fact, on the daily, we did not have a breakout. Okay, so I'm just going to reinforce one thing. Look at how the patience paid off in terms of the green zone, the hot zone, what we're looking at. You got it right. Did we have a breakout? Lower time frames, arguable. Okay, but were we really in some need for panic to go ahead and trade this monster pattern potentially to the upside? Whenever you see this pattern, I want you to pay attention to it, please. If it's on a crypto, particularly, that's what we focus on. But we have a perfect example here with an equity, which, guys, we don't handle securities. But to the extent that we can bring this technical over to our crypto, it's just the best example that we currently have of a nice bull flag. So we have been projecting into this green zone, level of interest. But the important thing is the following, and I just want this to sink in with you. Let this sink in. We didn't have a breakout, right? We did not have a breakout on the daily, larger time frame. Right, we respect those larger time frames, true? Yes. So this is an instance where some patience has paid off. If you have gotten chewed up at all in this area, I'm just going to recommend that you follow, and guys, as you follow your broker's advice, ask them how much you should risk in terms of this, that, or anything else. We, on crypto, use tight stop losses. So we're not worried about really any interaction, guys, to the downside or against our moves. And yes, that can be complicated in equities, which is why we focus on crypto, right? Overnight, you can lose or win big in equities. You guys know that. So looking at the green zone, we're in the green zone. What's going to really buttress up this green zone for Tesla? What has to hold? What has to hold? Okay, it's going to be the specific daily 20 moving average is the bottom line. And we're nearly in another position. Just want you to please pay attention to this. We're nearly in another position where we're going to say, well, if we were to look at specific pickups, and we'll draw this all the way to the bottom like we did, didn't we? Yes, we did. Looking at the specific Fibonacci's in play, this was a great pickup here, but you see the amount of time it's taken sideways. Nice move, catch it. Nice move, catch it. High velocity, that's what we're after. And looking at the specifics here, let's notice a bit of a conflict as we look for a potential downside target on what? Potential downside target on that 4-hourly buttressed by the specific lower pro line. So are we talking in circles? No, not necessarily. Are we looking at some degree of a lack of confirmation? Certainly, we see it all the time. Let's go into that daily and see how close we got to that 20 moving average, which has to hold. I'm just going to say it has to hold, guys. It's the bottom line. This is the level, okay? 0.18%. We got comfortable with about a quarter off on pricing on Tesla, didn't we? Just to analyze. It's good. It's highly liquid and highly volatile. It's a great equation. It's difficult to stay away from. So 0.18, 0.19, okay, about a 45-cent differential there off that 20 moving average on the daily. It's a big level. You guys know that. Now, value operation is great. Typically, as we look at this specific pattern in play, value operation is great. I've already stated I don't want to hang out for a month or a month and a half sideways. I just don't want to do it. I want a high velocity move, right? I want a high velocity move. So the trigger for me would have been up, out, and over on just an undeniably irresistible style price to pattern performance dynamic. That's what I would have liked to have seen. You guys agree? That's what I would have liked to have seen. Mind that daily cap line. We talked about this one yesterday a little bit, didn't we? Just a little bit. Don't want to give away the trades, but if you're already in it to win it, congratulations, congratulations. That's a nice move. Yay, we got it. Boom. Nice to, guys, go through your charts. Look for a nice combination. Look for the market leaders. Don't rummage around. Don't rummage around, guys, too far at the bottom of the barrel. It's going to be my recommendation in terms of cryptos. Okay, so looking at the framework, we're just going to say the following. It was a nice, patient opportunity for us to get into a green zone on a pattern. This level of experience can be indispensable in your crypto trades, guys. Looking at a pattern, waiting for, guys, over a month. In terms of the completion of this, seeing this pattern incoming, looking at a target level at that 50% and saying, okay, great. Now we're going to be trajecting up to, guys, over 40 days. Looks like about 40 days. 35 days, so over a month, trying to get up into this specific level and just playing the even cool hand, okay? Can you play the cool hand? The market's gonna need you. If you expect the market to cooperate with you in terms of doing well, the market's gonna need you to have a cool, even-keeled hand, okay? In terms of discipline. You want this? Do you not want this? Is this ideal? Is it telling me we're about to go just intergalactic, right? Can I catch a perfect trade on it? If I can't catch a perfect trade on it, all right, if we're frustrating, if there are issues and it's not what I want, guess what? Pass. Next, I choose to trade and really focus on it. At some point, it'll be focused on something else. It's difficult to ignore this level of an incredible technical pattern, as you see on Tesla. It's difficult. It's very challenging to ignore. It's to the extent it's bait. It could be, guys. It's so well trajected. It's so, I'm telling you guys, in terms of what we're going to spend time on, you're not going to show this pattern to people who are technically oriented and have them just ignore it. Yeah, anyway, we're just going to ignore it. It's perfect. It's just perfect. So, looking at the details, I want to encourage you and congratulations on a little bit of patience. That's a level of maturity being expressed in the market. I like it. You guys like that too? That's nice, huh? Nicely done. What are we doing? Excuse me. What is this here on, pardon guys. I only get up at 2 in the morning to start my conference calls with United Kingdom from California. So, yay, that's great. We're here. We're in it to win it. You guys know that. What is NVIDIA doing on the daily? Shout out to United Kingdom. What's going on? Big Chad. What's up, brother? Python project. Very cool stuff. Looking at the details here, NVIDIA on the daily under the 20, right? See, when we get that volatility, or we're guaranteed of those highly volatile moves on the market open, almost guaranteed, we want to look at our patterns. We want to look at our tactics. We want to look at what's going on, right? We want to be able to analyze frameworks of additional pattern sets and tactical observations so that we can formulate them in as needed to our Guys, I'm going to tell you, a lot of this is how quickly can you operate in the market? How quickly can you digest technicals? As we look at NVIDIA, Tesla, as we look at NASDAQ, a lot slower, right? And we try and just focus on two of the hottest, quickest moving assets, NVIDIA and Tesla. Why? Because you get so much more practice. And we're known for our 100 rounds. You guys know that, not on NVIDIA or Tesla, on crypto. But anytime anything is moving, technically speaking, we're going to be on it, guys. We got to be on it. That's what we're all about, is increasing that sample size. You want to call it a sample size, a practicum, okay? That practicum in terms of how much exposure do you have in the markets? Yeah, how much experience do you have in the markets? Very important for us to continue to, guys, get as much exposure as possible to volatility and velocity. Guys, if we can get the volatility and velocity, we're excited, guys. We're in good company. I know that in terms of what we're really after. Let's look at the you guys. I don't know what else to say other than over 20. It sounds like a catch-all and just a safeguard on my behalf. Like, look, man, over 37,500, we're long. Under 37,500, we're short. Okay, but you don't hear anyone else saying it, do you? You don't hear anyone else saying that, do you? You know. For the people that are going to trade this, I'm going to please pay attention to this. You don't hear anybody else saying this. You just don't, okay? You don't hear people saying, well, up and over, we're long, and down and under, we're short. Is it not odd that you spend as much time in the market, and I hate the fact that you would review anybody other than New York Institute of Finance in your own work. If you're doing that, you need to stop that. That is a fact. And don't think the market's not paying attention as you do that. Don't think the market's not paying attention to whether or not you're coming up with your own solutions. You think the market's paying attention to that? You think it has anything to do with how well you're able to structure in to any of your trades? Up and over, long, down and under, short. That's the game. True? That's the fact, guys. That is the way this needs to be traded. Okay? It's just the way that it needs to be traded. Over, long, under, short. As we see that dynamic in play, it's just what are the odds of you getting, guys, overly bullish and just really, really costing you? Very low. Very low. You're already positioned for failure, guys, for a pattern failure and a success. I'm just going to encourage you to continue while we have what? And this will be our last round of Bitcoin just to talk about this morning before we ease off into going to hit the iron. Hope you guys are doing well. Eat well, sleep well. You guys know all that good stuff. We care about you. We want you in good shape. That's it. Now, in terms of the details, we have some conflict here. Some of the conflict's going to be in the form of a rising wedge, which doesn't quite want to give up. It's exactly what we hit this morning. Fact, yeah. So while we're dealing with this hyperbolic potential move in the market, right? While we're getting a bit of a squeeze here, this is not a bull favorite. We agree? It's not a bull favorite. It is not, as a fact, a bull favorite. What did we hit this morning, guys? What did we come into contact with? Boom, boom, boom. So to the extent that we had some nice pattern formation here, to the extent that we're out up and over our 37.5, you may say, well, London, that's fine, but I want to take some profits along the way, over or under, as we're along this critical threshold level of price 37.5. That's what it's built for. Multiple potential entries, flash trade, carry trade, a daily carry trade, a weekly carry trade, a monthly carry trade. Boom, boom, boom. Execute them, right? Give yourself the opportunity to participate to the upside over 37.5 and the opportunity, guys, to take profit and maintain an additional carry trade. If you don't like that logic, you need to tell me why you don't like that logic. And if it has to do with your execution of the trades rather than how valid the logic is, then you need to try and process through the execution of those trades. If it's a time differential and, well, the market's just open too many hours and I literally can't be there, there's a solution for that as well. There is, okay? So for whatever reason you don't like a long over, short under, right? I'm just gonna tell you guys, is it paid under or not? Is it paid under 37.5? How many times? Very well, guys. As we're going sideways for 30 days, do you want any kind of exposure to any of these shorts? Take a look at this real quickly. Just take a look at this. I'm going to reinforce this and we will get going, guys. But let's take a look at this. Let's recreate this. We have a move to the upside. We have another small move to the upside. We have a move to the upside. We have another move to the upside. There we go. We have another small move to the upside. That's great. That's fantastic. These are all profit equations for longs. Do we agree? You got it right. Now, you know what I'm about to do. Say you put all these in your pocket. It's just what you needed to do, right? Put them all in your pocket. Okay, great. Now the issue is going to be the following. You know what we're going to do. Let me make sure. Let me see if I can change the color here. Let's change this color so we can make this example. And I hope you guys are doing well. It's the end of the week. VIP weekend incoming. What's up? Very nice. Nice, guys. Excited about all the weekends. It's just, it's what we do. It is what we do. Hopefully have some fun time in the midst of a bit of a break, though crypto is staying hot. So if this is move 1, move 2, move 3, move 4, move 5. You got it right. Well, what are we missing? Well, we're kind of missing. Yeah, we're kind of missing. I'm gonna call this one 1. All right. I want to put that one in my pocket. Yeah. Let's put that in our pocket. Then I'm gonna have to say, well, I want to put 2 into my pocket. I want to put 3 into my pocket. I want to put 4 into my pocket. I want to put 5 into my pocket. Right? I'm in the process of putting 6 into my pocket. You see, guys, you can deal with being directionally focused. No, I got to 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys got this. Huh? Let it sink in. Let it sink in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got it. But wait, there's really a lead in here. Okay, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on 11. 11 versus 5. Okay? So we're not talking about picking up every single move yet. We're talking about what? The ability to double your trade action? You gotta be crazy to double your trade action. What are we doing right now? Reinforcing a long, over, short, under a specific line. Is that going to enhance your ability to operate in the market? I'm going to challenge you to look at it as if it does, evaluate it as if it is impossible for it not to. Try and evaluate it as if it is an answer in the market, period. It's impossible for it not to. And if you'll operate this way and work on the execution and analysis of it, of how to operate and execute functionally on it, imagine it's impossible for it not to benefit you. If you will take that home and understand, let's just say, or interpret it as, just interpret my comment as it literally being impossible for you not to enhance your trade game if you're willing to be long, over, and short, under. Then step into the challenges that it's presenting. Okay? Once you can at least explore the notion that it would be impossible for that not to work, for this not to function and add some profit, then start to look at the challenges in terms of the execution. That's going to be my challenge to you guys as we head into a weekend, and nothing but positive reinforcement. Just excited about 2023 coming to a close. We got a lot of action in crypto, and we're just looking forward to, guys, let's beat the naysayers. Let's beat the naysayers is what I said. Let's see if we can pull one out, guys, for crypto. It's possible, okay? There's a glass is half full mentality to anything you're seeing in the news, and you may not get all the glasses half full news. You may not get that. If it's really great news, you may not get it till it's way too late in the form of a higher price. True? Yeah. So, respecting, guys, all the time and effort and energy you put into all of your trades, and I'm excited about seeing how they work out. And again, appreciate everyone who makes these trades possible on an institutional framework and otherwise. It means a lot to us. It's what we enjoy doing. So thank you for all of your hard work. We'll be in the back. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. Watch the specifics here. We have that counter indication again with, just to recap, we have the counter indication with a bit of a parabolic move. Yes. Now, one of two things typically happen again. We will either rocket to the upside or we have a tendency to collapse. This is the way that we see them work out on the aggregate. That's the way that we see them work out. Working on some additional, guys, nice indicators, just additional features to bring into the mix towards the end here of 2023 and beyond. Shout out to all of our dev teams overseas. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. Take care. Bye-bye.